Yes, indeed. Welcome back to a week of soul-destroying drudgery in the workplace after your extended holiday weekend. Did you have a good one? Here's the thing. While it is ultra painful to return to soul-destroying drudgery in the workplace after your extended holiday weekend, bear in mind, short work week. What did you do over the holiday weekend? Anything good? Anything fun? Anything noteworthy? Funkhouser, who has recently... and that would be, if you're new to the show, super producer to the stars, Barry Funkhouser, our erstwhile compatriot. Funkhouser went out and bought a bunch of stuff at IKEA. He is cohabiting, a new cohabitation arrangement with his significant other. So he had to battle off crowds in IKEA to get sweet, sweet savings and deep, deep discounts on Swedish furniture that you put together yourself. Did you have any fun over the holiday weekend? And if not, when was the last time you had some fun? I actually had fun. I had the most fun I've had in a really long time. I went to 2 different concerts over the holiday weekend. I saw The Offspring on their Summer Nationals tour. That was them, along with the dudes in the Vandals and Stiff Little Fingers and Pennywise and Bad Religion. That was like the most fun I've had at a concert, like a bunch of rock bands, in a really long time. Just such a good show. And the Offspring are an incredible live band. Sounded note for note perfect. You really couldn't fault them. Could play a 2-hour set of back-to-back, wall-to-wall hits. There's nothing that you could fault them on. Absolutely bulletproof. But for some reason, and if you've seen them, you'll understand why. For some reason, it was Pennywise that moved me the most. They are without a shadow of a doubt, even as much as they find themselves to be a little long in the tooth and a parody of what they were back in 1989 or 1991 or whenever it was they started, they are, without a shadow of a doubt, the real deal. They were freaking great. If you haven't seen Pennywise yet, I wildly recommend you take the opportunity to do that. And then the weird thing was, I went and saw the next night the 1812 Overture, sort of like a symphony end of the summer concert. And here's the thing. Saw the Offspring one night, saw a symphony the next night. The symphony, louder, because of the cannons. But I had so much fun at these 2 things. So much fun. And I want you to cast your mind back to the last time you really had fun. That moment where you could kind of lose yourself in the experience, where you weren't necessarily thinking about anything else, where you didn't have to sort of like consider all the minutia, the excruciating minutia, to borrow a Seinfeldian term, of your life. When was the last time you had some fun? It's so, so important. Why? Well, you let me know. Joining the conversation at ADSXE at Funk FM. Yep. It's so important. So important. I don't know what you did over the holiday weekend, but it is so important to have some fun. After I went and saw Tchaikovsky, well, I mean, it wasn't Tchaikovsky. That guy's been dead for a really long time. After I went and saw Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, which also had, it was like the Moonlight Sonata, and it was sort of like a greatest hits. It was a greatest hits compilation of Tchaikovsky at the symphony this weekend. And I grew up kind of studying classical music, but I was never like hugely into it. Some of it I was, some of it I wasn't. But, it was something that I kind of grew up with. My mom's a classical cellist, and There was just a moment during the concert where I realized I'd lost all sense of time and space, and I was completely absorbed in what was going on. I was literally lost in the music. I was having a lot of fun, too. Gave myself over to the experience. Culture, art, all that sort of stuff. And maybe the way you have fun has changed since you were a kid. Maybe it's not about, I don't know, lighting your farts. Maybe it's not about playing stickball in the street, but fun. Fun that frees your mind, that allows you to go places in your mind that aren't bogged down by, did I leave the garage door open? Although if you left the garage door open, yeah, that could be really, really bad, I suppose. So you should be thinking of that. But no, but getting away from your daily life, your chores, whether they be at home or at work, so important. We live in a society at the moment where the vast majority of people I know piss their lives away underneath fluorescent tubes working for the man doing something they hate. And look, maybe it's this newfangled millennial idea that you should be completely fulfilled and creatively satisfied and all of the above in your workplace. There might really be something to, well, it's a job. A job is a job. You do your job, you go home. You're a contributing member of society. But even if you do have a job you hate and you're resigned to that, so important, even more important than I think if you're resigned to that, to get out, have some fun, free your mind. Remember when you were a kid? No, you probably don't, do you? It's interesting. I heard Henry Rollins say once when I was a kid, during one of his spoken word shows, guys don't understand what it's like to be a girl. Old people don't know a thing about being young, and guys don't know what it's like to be a girl. I was like, of course old people know what it's like to be young. But you forget, you become so out of touch with the things that made the world magical when you were a child. And it's not easy to maintain that childlike wonder. People that can do it, I'm envious of them, but they often have problems functioning in the adult world. But if you can get in touch with that every now and then, so unbelievably valuable. There's no neat little bow to tie up this particular statement with, no exclamation point at the end of this sentence, but just to tell you, if you didn't have fun over your holiday weekend, make sure you do sometime soon. And it's weird as an adult, right? When you're a kid, maybe you're around kids, maybe you see this happen, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you have kids of your own, or maybe you've seen younger relatives at a family picnic or something recently. But kids just have fun. They just have it. As an adult, you have to schedule it. You have to plan it. You have to figure out how it's going to go, what time you're going to get home, who's going to be coming. You have to get them all on the phone. They're going to be resistant to going out and having fun. Your friends, your adult friends. It takes so much effort to have fun. Kids just have it. They just enjoy it. They stop and have fun. They make their own fun. If for one tiny second, you can get in touch with that, you can remember what that was like, you can get your mind to that place. If for one tiny second you can do that over something like a weekend, or your evening off, or an afternoon off, or whatever the hell it is, if you can manage to have just a little bit of fun, I swear to you, it will make returning to the soul-destroying drudgery in your workplace so much easier, so much better. Have some freaking fun. Whatever you do, you should probably avoid taking naked pictures of yourself and uploading them to something that is owned by Apple. Funkhouser, let's take a look at the events of today in a segment we like to call My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. Why are we afraid of the iCloud, Funkhouser?
Oh, man. Well, you just got to read the fine print. A hacker posted nude pictures of hundreds of female celebrities on the internet, and I've seen them all.
Haven't seen the internet filled with this much boobs and ass since the day before, but this had a especially voyeuristic quality to it. Even more shocking, the hacker posted a photo of Miley Cyrus with clothes on. Ooh, I wasn't prepared for that.
Who's that dude?
Justin Bieber is not looking good these days. The hacker claims he has more pictures to release, so don't give up hope, fellow Betty White fans. It could still happen for us. But the lesson here, I think we've all learned, is if you want to protect stuff, don't put it on something called a cloud. Put it someplace impenetrable, like whatever the hell Suge Knight is made of. So, obligatory moral question, Funkhouser. You've seen all the pictures, right?
Oh, yeah. Been searching.
Any tiny twinge of guilt?
No, not really. I mean, because, look, if you're going to take a picture with your phone and you're going to back it up to a public server with one password called password, it's you just, if you cook the bread and you eat the bread and you die from the bread, whose fault is it? The bread?
That's an interesting baker's analogy that I haven't heard anyone draw in this particular situation yet. But you're right. It is not the fault of the bread. Nope. I don't know. Like, I kind of struggled with it. Not that hard, I mean, I was a consumer of the I was a consumer of the Fappening, as they called it on the interwebs, the one thing I did kind of feel weird about, in sort of a voyeuristic kind of way, checking out all these pictures, the one thing I did feel a little uncomfortable about was the fact that, like, it really was an invasion of privacy. It's like, it's not like Kim Kardashian's sex tape, going viral. It's not like Kim Kardashian's sex tape being sold, or the Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson thing. Like, you could tell that, as naive as it was for all of them, all the female celebrities who have had every last inch of their naughty extremities exposed, you can tell that these pictures were not meant for consumption by anyone other than their significant other, maybe even of their self. I don't know. I kind of find it, the leaked Jennifer Lawrence naked pictures specifically, they're a cruel invasion of privacy, and I think the person responsible has lots to answer for, including my carpal tunnel. Regrets? I've had a few, but not enough to stop me. Did you have particular favorites, like anything that you thought really stood out with the Fappening, as it's been dubbed in the media?
Not really, because, I'm a member of Twitter and I've seen the angle shots of various people. But no, I don't, I know everybody's real name now, and, I know a lot of members of Glee that I did not know before.
Yeah. I feel, I mean, like, I didn't know who the vast majority of the people were that had their photos leaked in the Fappening. I thought some of them were kind of all right to look at, but then I was just like, whatever. It was just sort of, it might as well have been home porn from anyone, because I had no idea who the vast majority of the people were. But the Jennifer Lawrence and the Kate Upton ones, I was like, there it is. I wonder, do you think their careers will be affected negatively or positively by this?
I don't know. It's case by case. I think it depends on how they take it. You've been watching Twitter and you see the status updates about people, talking like, some people are making light of it. Some people are downright, lying about it not being them. Maybe, maybe not. But it was on their phone, and it looks kind of like them. So it's like, it depends on, how they handle it in the media. Because, I mean, it all comes down to somebody stole your password, broke into your house, and stole your underwear. So, that's the takeaway from it, I think.
I feel kind of bad for Kate Upton, a little bit. Not too terribly bad, but like that Justin Verlander guy, the guy from the San Francisco Giants, the baseball player that she's been hanging out with, like, he had all these pictures of his side action as well, and there were a lot, and it was numerous, and it's sort of like, whether she was aware that, hey, I'm a baseball player that has different chicks in every town, and you have to be okay with that, whether she was aware of it or not, that's a little embarrassing for her. You know what I mean?